hoof and trunk and tail and horn and paw and wing and claw. Come, bird and reptile, mammal born, all full of nature's law. Bring bark and crow and ribbit too, and silent stare and hiss. Bring purr and trill and warble too, and voice no ear can miss. We gather here each life and all to celebrate and sing, to honor creature large and small. 'Tis holiness we bring. Welcome, human and animal friends, to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Greater Lynn here in Swampscott, and also online on Facebook Live, and maybe there are some animal companions online today joining us this morning.
Each squeak and each squawk, each judder and purr joins in with creation in offering thanks. The creatures we love bring us wonder and joy. They help us get through when the going is tough. They open our hearts even when they annoy. Our praises we sing for the creatures we love. Our praises we sing for the creatures we love.
My favorite kinds of videos are the ones that are titled something like, "This is my dad with the puppy he said he didn't want." And it shows a little dog asleep, cuddled on the chest of a happy man in an armchair. Or here's my grandmother who always said that she doesn't like cats. And then you see, and they always put the laughing face emoji. And the video shows this delighted woman dressing up a very happy cat and proudly holding up the cat to the camera in its new little dress and bonnet and just, "See my darling." Often these videos are in other languages, so I don't know exactly what they're saying, but they are speaking that universal language of having fallen in love with an animal, and they have that baby voice that we all know. In many ways, the animals with whom we share our homes and our lives make us better humans. If we care for them well and fairly, they require a lot of work and attention. They are also expensive. In this country, humans spend billions of dollars every year on pet food, toys, cages, habitats, supplies, daycare, playdates, veterinary care. Many of you remember a time when this wasn't the norm. Remember that? The dog ate scraps from the table, went around the yard in the neighborhood without a leash on. Everybody just kind of dealt with it. There were no dog parks. There weren't expensive flea and tick medications or a lot of options for care if the animal got a disease. But today, notice how many pet stores dot our landscape. And dare, if you dare, to add up your own household budget for the animal companions and family members: dogs, cats, fish, reptiles, gerbils, ferrets, guinea pigs, chickens. Anyone? I know Mary has chickens. She's in the parish hall right now. Birds. Then add up what you contribute to the wildlife: bird feeders and seed, habitats, squirrel wire. We have a big rat population in Lynn at the end of my street. My neighbors and I talk a lot about how to humanely keep them and their nice cousins, the mice, out of our households. No one wants to use poisons. Do you remember when we had that raptor program in here? We found out how rodenticides can end up doing real harm to the flying friends. So Mary swears by putting baking soda in the garbage bins. I don't know. Animals, if we hold them in our awareness, though, make us better and more considerate human beings. We wrestle with our ethical obligation to them. we allow ourselves to truly love them. I'm probably never going to learn how to truly love rats, probably, but as I learn more about their relationships, I can widen my circle of respect to include them, to remember that they too have a place in the interdependent web of existence, and overcome my revulsion and anthropocentrism, which children, that means centering humans like we're the only important creatures on the earth, so that I can't support their total annihilation. Rats, too, have a right to be here. They make me a slightly better human. I've had a multi-species household for a long time. 1 human, 1 beagle, and 1 tabby cat. My current duo, Dibbly and Bendigo, both street kids who were rescued, are my 2nd generation of this combination after the gentle passing away after a full and happy life of their predecessors, Ermengarde and Maxfield. I appreciate the balance of species in my household. We all have completely different natures. We don't speak a common language, and we possess very different consciousness. Our attention to each other is affectionate, and it is a matter of survival, and we all know that. If we don't closely observe each other's habits and behaviors and get along, things could go very badly. The fur bros, as I call them, know that. I, the human, am in charge. I am food lady. I am water lady. This earns me big boss status. And I, in my turn, gently respect the wild nature of my fur family members, knowing that either one of them could turn their claws or their teeth on me or each other if provoked. Because that's what cats and dogs do. That's part of their nature. It just so happens that they love wrestling, so they haven't done any of that. But I do have a scar on my arm. It looks like it's here to stay, from an adventure in trying to pull my cat Bendigo off of the fence when he was trying to make a little break for it a couple of years ago into the neighborhood. He kicked me with his back thumpers, and I bled profusely and dramatically while carrying him into the house. He's a house cat. I respect his nature, though. He and the beagle, who insists on sniffing every blade of grass on our walks, make me a better human being, because they remind me every day that human beings are not the most important story in the universe. We are sharing this life and this planet with a multitude of amazing living creatures who all have their own beautiful ways of knowing and loving existence. Scientific research has allowed our species to become so much more aware of the ways that other animals know and experience the world, that they are intelligent. They have emotions. Gandhi said that you can tell everything you need to know about a society by the way they treat their animals. And I'm afraid that we have a very sick society by this measure. We pamper our pets, but I need not remind you of the atrocious conditions of our factory farmed animals and other entities that cause terrible suffering to our animal kindred. Many of you are vegetarian or vegan and have a conscious commitment to not participating in and supporting these industries. I believe that that also makes us better humans, although I am neither vegetarian nor vegan, and keep trying to do better in this regard and to pay attention to sources of animal products that I use or consume and try all the time to do less of that. Anyone who has received the healing of a singing oriole outside their window during a time of sorrow, or been absorbed for happy hours watching beavers construct a dam, or seals playing down on the Cape from your kayak, or been given the lovely medicine of a cat purring on your chest or patting your face as you shiver with fever, or been corrected from your self-centeredness by a beagle leading you on a zigzaggy sniffing tour through the Diamond District, or been calmed after a hard day at school by watching a tank full of silvery fish swimming in formation, know that we are blessed by animals. We call this service animal blessing. It goes both ways. They create deeper reverence in us. They cultivate wonder. They put us in our place. The Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh wrote in Love in Action, "We humans think we are smart, but an orchid, for example, knows how to produce noble, symmetrical flowers, and a snail knows how to make a beautiful, well-proportioned shell. Compared with their knowledge, ours is not worth much at all. We should bow deeply before the orchid and the snail and join our palms reverently before the monarch butterfly and the magnolia tree. The feeling of respect for all species will help us recognize the noblest nature in ourselves." And I'm going to ask all of the blessing helpers to come up to the chancel. Okay, so remember I told you, this is our holy water. We gather it at our water communion in gathering at the beginning of every year. And then I boil it and purify it. And so we're going to ask you to just dab your fingers in this water because you're going to have blessing hands. Hold up your hands for a moment. Okay, we are going to bless our animals. You're not going to have to memorize all of this. But by the earth beneath us, by the sky above us, by the love within us and around us, we will bless these animals. Beautiful. And Reverend Chris, this is Reverend Chris Scheller, our Minister of Community Life and Learning. You want to go around and have the kids, I'm going to do blessing hands. Okay, mine are blessed now, or mine are anointed. We commission you to be a blesser on behalf of the church. We commission you to be a blesser on behalf of this church.